the final weeks of pregnancy can be so challenging, both physically and emotionally, but I'm glad that you're here so that we can cover what you can expect in week 39 of pregnancy. We're going to talk about baby developments and movements this week, along with body changes and symptoms you might be experiencing. We will check in with our expecting crew and see if we have any lingering items on the Think and Do board as well. Welcome to the Birth Toolbox Classroom. I'm Alice, a doula and childbirth educator, going week by week through pregnancy with you. Sounds like it's time for class. What is happening with baby's development this week? At 39 weeks of development, the fetus is about 20.16 inches or 51.2 centimeters, which is about this long. The weight of the fetus is about 7.25 to 8.25 pounds, which is about the weight of a gallon of milk. If a baby is born after the start of the 39th week and before the start of the 41st week, they're considered a full-term baby. Now, when babies are born this week, they're usually ready for life outside the womb. Babies still in the womb this week are experiencing a continuation of what we've seen so far in the third trimester. So the brain and the lungs continue to grow and mature during these final weeks. Their sleep patterns are established. They are usually in the position that they're going to stay in until birth. That fat layer has started forming and reflexes are being exhibited. What symptoms and body changes should you expect at 39 weeks of pregnancy? If sleep has become a challenge for you, then you're not alone. Between frequent trips to the bathroom and the discomfort that you probably feel in your hips and your legs and your belly, it's pretty hard to get a good night's sleep. The baby also might be moving a lot at night, leading to really challenging sleep as well. So if you have the ability to take naps during the day and get some decent sleep at that time, then I highly recommend doing so. Now, besides difficulty sleeping, other symptoms you might be feeling at 39 weeks include Braxton Hicks contractions, leg swelling, shortness of breath, increased vaginal discharge, frequent urination, and heartburn.
And so just my first experience was just not the way I thought it was ever going to go. And so this time I kind of knew, like, okay, we're probably going to be going fast, but I didn't know how fast.
This week I am 39 weeks pregnant, and yeah, I feel all right. Honestly, I'm just kind of feeling bored. I've been on maternity leave for a couple of weeks now. We sort of have been anticipating baby's arrival for the last few weeks, especially with that close call with the potential for induction at 37 weeks. We kind of got mentally prepared very quickly there, and now we've just been kind of hanging around waiting. But yeah, I'm feeling really anxious for baby to be here so we can kind of get into our new routine with them. Yeah, this week though has been good. I had another appointment with my OB on Tuesday. We did a cervical check and I was a centimeter dilated, so she was able to do a membrane sweep for me. That went well. Not super comfortable, but not as painful as I thought it might be. I know I have a fairly high pain tolerance for that kind of thing though, so I don't know if my experience is necessarily typical. So I did have this sweep on Tuesday. I had a bloody show later that same day, so that felt like good progress, but it's now Thursday and there haven't been any other signs of labor being imminent, so we're just back to business as usual, back to waiting. So my due date is coming up on Monday, and we'll see whether we make it through the weekend or if I end up having a 40-week update as well.
I was having these contractions that were super mild, but they were just continuing on all day. And that's how it was for a few days there. They felt very different from the Braxton Hicks that I've been having before, because those had been more of like a tightening in my belly, and these felt more like period cramps. But they weren't progressing really, they weren't getting more intense, they just kind of stayed there. And so I was sleeping all day. I was so tired.
If you haven't created a playlist of music for labor, let's put that on the do side of the board this week. Music can really support relaxation in labor, but it can also pump you up and give you energy that you need. I am a big music lover myself, and I love creating playlists for my births. I recommend putting together a variety of options depending upon what you're feeling at the time, or maybe even just having some Spotify channels ready to go for game time decisions. Now, the next item on our do side is start an early bedtime. So many times I have had clients whose labor starts at 11 p.m. or midnight, and when I talk to them, I ask how much sleep did they get, and they had not gone to sleep for the day yet. So labor, it just picks up from there, and then they're starting labor with no rest at all. Now, I can't stress this enough. Going to bed early in these final weeks of pregnancy is such a good idea. Now, I promise you that you will be so thankful for any rest that you get prior to labor. Really, trust me here, nothing is as important as sleep is at this time of your pregnancy. One thing not to miss before next week, if you'd like a peek at my top products to make postpartum recovery easier and more enjoyable, I'm going to put a link to the list that I created down in the description below. I hope your 39th week of pregnancy is a great one. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't done that yet, and I will see you next week. Bye.